Am I recording? Yeah, I'm recording.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how are you?
Doing pretty good, man. I woke up this morning.
On the wrong side of the bed?
No, with fantastic news.
What is that?
Delivered by you.
Well, first of all, I was up early this morning.
You were.
I think
an early
I sent
bird.
you that message at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that was nice. With some great news, we received an email from Twitter saying that my stupidity has been erased. And
well, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think your stupidity has been erased. I think the mistake has been fixed.
Rectified? Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough.
Rectified, yeah.
That's right. And at REKT_podcast is now officially unsuspended.
Insert applause here.
Oh my goodness. It's happening.
Amazing. So we are you saying we're back?
And we're back.
Huge if true. I like
huge
that.
if true.
Huge if true. REKT Podcast Twitter is back, and probably the same mediocrity as ever, I would say, right?
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. I mean, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's great news for us.
Yeah, terrific.
It's just, moderate news for
you
guys.
It's such a different tweet, because I usually tweet out of the REK podcast, and I've been having to post the shows through mine, and I notice it's a completely different attitude I'm using when I post through REKT. So it felt unnatural. It felt unnatural doing it through my Twitter.
How so?
Like, I don't know. It's just it's a little bit more formal, a little bit more.
From your Twitter?
From REK Twitter is usually right. I'm putting out the episode.
You're like, listen to this shit.
Right, exactly. Just fucking turn it on, okay? Fucking 5 stars. Subscribe.
So we are back after I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, like I think it was, what did I say, the 4th or the 5th, I think, of May.
21st. Oh my God. Wow. So a full on 2 weeks. However, the charity clock did not start upon first denial. I believe you are at 10 days since I first
give or take 10 days.
Charity clock. So are you comfortable with that? Your $10 charity donation?
I think I can handle that one. Yeah.
All right. So
that's American dollars, I'm assuming.
Yes, American.
That's like $38 Canadian.
This shit gets expensive,
I know.
Get your hands all suspended. It's pretty expensive, man.
I had to rob my kid's piggy bank.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So how are we gonna do this? We're gonna just choose a couple and have the people vote.
Yeah, I think we'll do like a poll or something, and then
maybe we'll have our Telegram group like throw out some nominations.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
We'll vote on the nominations.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so that's how we're gonna do it.
And speaking of Telegram, we should we have a new.
Yes, nice.
A new patron to the family, a new member at Patreon. I want to get the name right again because I fuck up the name.
I believe it's at the droid you seek.
I believe that's how you say it, but you know me, I mispronounce handles all the time.
At the droid you seek.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that?
I don't know.
Spaces were the best thing that ever happened to you.
So let me play. Yeah, I believe it is at the droid you seek, all spelt properly, which is great.
In succession.
And yeah, in succession with a ampersand at the front, I believe, or not an ampersand. What's the at symbol called?
At symbol? I don't know.
Do we know?
Circular A. I don't know.
Circular A. Yeah.
I'm going with Circular A. Also, maybe a good band name.
I agree.
I don't know why, but I think it would be. But we are back. We have a new patron. It is Friday. We are just firing on all cylinders. So
we sure are.
With that, what else has been up in your life since I talked to you in the last couple days here?
Honestly, it's just been we've been having consecutive beautiful days here. I got out yesterday, went for a little walk around the block.
Now, what does the chamber walk look like? Are we talking like a mile? Are we just talking like maybe like next door? Or like what are we?
No, like I'd say good, 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty substantial walk.
Yeah, I like to stroll around, put my earpods in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not at a ridiculous clip, but I'm not blowing a knee out. Not looking to do that. But no, it's nice. It's just been in my opinion, the perfect temperature. I don't know what that equates to in Fahrenheit, but right around like 24, 25 degrees Celsius. My guess is probably like 85, 80, 85.
Holy cow!
Is that way too hot? No, maybe I'm wrong.
Far too hot for me. I would never call 85 the perfect temperature. I would think like 75 is the perfect.
It might be 7. You may be right. It might be 75. Let's see here. 25
is pushing it for me, but I sweat when I peel an orange. So.
All right. Let's see here. 25 degrees Celsius. That's 77.
Okay, that's perfect. Yes.
Yeah, that's 77.
Yes. Perfect.
So yeah, that's what I think is the perfect temperature for outside.
And I would agree. Although I like it more a little brisker. So
a little bit more brisk than that, eh? Yeah, what's 85?
85.
That's like almost 30 degrees Celsius. That's a warm day.
That's hot, right?
Shit, man. I've heard what's 115 then. Let's do some conversion. Oh shit. Yeah, you guys don't mess around. I've heard the down south in the US.
Vegas,
like 110s, 115s.
Yeah,
that is
for sure. Vegas, Arizona, all those places.
That's fucking way too hot, man. That's 46 degrees Celsius for those listening at home.
For those listening in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Or literally any other country besides the US.
Yeah, right. Right. I always forget that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. One day you guys will come around.
All right, so you got the warm weather going. You got your strolling shorts on. And
strolling shorts. The gams are out.
Oh,
the gams are out. The pegs are glistening in the sun. It's it's good. I got the flip flops out. It was a good day. It was a good day.
Sun's out, buns out for you.
You know it, man. Yeah. Little Daisy Dukes, a little cheek hanging out the back. How you doing?
You're already all tanned from just hanging out under your grow lamps.
It's so hot. My wife was asking me that. She's like, "Do you think I'd get like a tan if I?" I'm like, "I think you probably could."
You probably could. If you could get burned, you could probably. Oh,
speaking of grow lights, I thought I messed up a bunch of seeds that I had germinated, so I had bought about another 50% more. And then turns out the first batch was perfectly fine, and now I just have way too many pot plants.
God.
You want some pot plants?
If I didn't live in an apartment and had actual room to grow,
and it wasn't illegal,
yeah,
just move to Canada.
I guess the legality is a thing, but whatever. But anyway, that's it. So we are, for those of you in the U.S., it is coming up on Memorial Day weekend. We have Monday off. You had this past Monday off.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so we have this Monday off. So long weekend here. A lot of the beaches and stuff are reopening around the East Coast, so people will be out spreading COVID to each other pretty rapidly.
I think it's over. I'm pretty sure it's done. I don't think anybody's getting sick anymore.
I don't think so.
Is that not?
Sure.
I'm not a doctor.
The other day that I think it was like Wednesday that the most reported new cases since the entire outbreak started happened on Wednesday.
What?
Yeah.
That's not great.
Right. So
that's not great.
But hey, man, I need to go eat on a patio somewhere. So
it's a must.
Yeah. Whatever. Poke a hole in my mask and feed me some nachos.
Did you see that new mask that opens and shuts?
Yes. That's like nightmare fuel for a child.
It is.
Yeah. Imagine. Oh, my God. Anyway, so let's get right into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's get to the news. All right, start us off here, Chamber.
I have, you know what? I'm going to start with, there was some big news yesterday, and it had to do with possibly the Satoshi wallet.
This is the one I was hoping you would start with.
Yeah, this is probably the most interesting news. This is from the Block Crypto. 50 original Bitcoins moved from a wallet that has been dormant since 2009. For those of you counting at home, that's 11 years ago. The coins mined
on the metric system.
I think it's the same amount. I think it's an equal conversion. The coins mined on block 3,654, 1 month into Bitcoin's existence, were sent to 2 addresses today. One address received 40 of the more than decade-old coins, equating to $391,000. Another address received 9.99 and is currently separating the sum into smaller pieces sent to other addresses. This marks the first time since August 2017 that an account that has moved coins from 2009, according to Antoine Le Calvé, lead data engineer at Coinmetrics. Some are speculating the transfer came from a wallet owned by anonymous Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. However, these coins are unlikely to be Satoshi's according to past research looking at Nonce data. The address of the once dormant wallet appears on Craig Wright's filing and claimed wallet address relating to his case with Kleinman's estate. Wright has claimed he is the identity behind Satoshi, and the addresses of one of thousands of unclaimed addresses Wright listed in the filing. However, there is substantial doubt.
Wait a second. So hold on. Let me get this straight. So it was from one of the ones he.
One of the addresses he claimed was his.
Oh, but that's pretty easy, right?
I could claim exactly. You could
just figure out which
is the oldest wallet.
2 million Bitcoins
exactly.
In it.
Exactly.
And then you can say, "Oh, well, that's
mine." Yeah, exactly.
How would I know otherwise?
Right.
Because this is what I think Craig Wright sounds like. How would I know if I wasn't Satoshi?
That's maybe the best Australian accent I've ever heard.
Well, I don't know.
I thought I was talking to Crocodile Dundee there for a second.
I don't even know if I was really trying the Australian
I love
thing.
it. A subdued Australian accent. A lot of people go hard. A lot of people will go hard on that accent. You, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more colloquial.
I don't even know if I was really trying to do Australian, and now I'm trying to think about how I would do it, and I can't.
It's missive.
How would I know if I wasn't Satoshi, mate?
However, there is substantial doubt that Wright is Satoshi, or even the owner of any of the filed addresses, including the one at hand. One memo.cash user created a post verifying the signature of the address and calling Wright, quote, a liar and fraud more than a year ago. So this one says, like we were talking about, maybe $400,000 worth of Bitcoin. I saw some tweets. Now, I know Twitter's not the news, but I saw some tweets flying around yesterday that like 45,000 Bitcoins from some of those 2009 wallets were rolling around yesterday. I couldn't find an article to support that. But that was I think it ended up being like $400 million worth of Bitcoins. I don't know. Did you see that at all?
No, I didn't.
So maybe it was misinformation, but at least this is a verified news article here.
Interesting. So what are your thoughts? Satoshi or not?
Probably not. But that is interesting that, it sounds like this hasn't been moved. Yeah, account has coins from 2009 that haven't been touched since 2009. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. So,
well, I saw some, again, using Twitter as my source of news, I saw some people saying hey, just because it's Satoshi doesn't mean why can't he spend his Bitcoin? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean,
everybody else spends everybody else can get, Lambo rich, but not Satoshi.
Hey,
that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, cash that shit in, man.
Exactly.
Look, I think the fear would be that he would move it all at once. So if that's not the case, and that I think that's a good thing. So who cares if he spends them?
Right, exactly.
Although people were speculating that they were technically out of circulation because they'd never moved.
Exactly, and that's why when I was seeing that bigger number floating around, like even what did I say, 45,000 bitcoins out of 21 million is still not that big of a, you know what I mean? Like obviously it's a huge chunk, but like it's not that big of a dent in the overall. You know, even at $500 million worth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I don't think this is Satoshi's money, though, for the record.
You don't?
I don't think so.
So, okay,
but what the fuck do I know?
I mean, I would say you're probably the foremost thought leader in Bitcoin.
I know I think that, but it's nice to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's finally somebody recognizes you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, you can go around telling yourself that all day. But when somebody actually tells it to your face, or at least to your ears,
I think you are one of the top 2,000 or 3,000 thought leaders in Bitcoin.
Hey, I'll fucking take it.
All right, here I've got Litecoin and Atari team up in anticipation of Atari tokens launch. So we're bringing Atari into the new world.
Wow.
Litecoin Foundation and video game maker Atari have formed a new partnership that, among other things, will make Litecoin an accepted means of payment for the soon-to-launch Atari token. So Atari has set its sights on a September launch date for Atari token, according to a press release published Tuesday by Atari and the Litecoin Foundation. It's going to be used to manage purchases and track digital assets in the ecosystem, as well as make payments in the, which I didn't know this existed, Atari Casino, which offers casino games with buy-ins using crypto. Atari has also formed a subsidiary, Atari Chain Limited, that is focused on developing crypto projects in entertainment industries. So besides being a means of payment for the Atari token, Litecoin will also become an option for purchasing Atari's yet-to-launch VCS game console at a discount. That's what they said here. And beyond that, the new partnership with Litecoin will also involve the future use of Litecoin across gaming platforms within the Atari ecosystem. Thoughts?
Huge, if true. I didn't know. Did you say they were coming out with a new console?
Yeah, VCS.
Hey, I mean, I hope it's not. My hope, and I mean, I'm old, but I'm still not old enough to have an Atari. You didn't have an Atari?
No, my parents had an Atari, though.
Exactly.
I remember playing Atari when I was like a kid because we would go to my grandmother's house and she had an old Atari up in one of the bedrooms. And
sorry, did you say it was your parents' Atari?
Well, I guess it's I don't know if it's my parents or my grandmother's. It was at my grandmother's house.
But a generation ago is what you're saying. like a generation before you.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Well, it definitely wasn't mine. I mean, we're not that far in age. When did
No, exactly. I mean, I had Nintendo. Like I grew up like original Nintendo. Like I think I was probably 6 or 7 years old. You know, and then Super Nintendo was really the first one for me.
Yeah, Super Nintendo was awesome. Hold on, I'm looking up when Atari came out.
I feel like it was in maybe the early 80s.
1977.
Really? Wowza.
See, so it would have been our parents.
Yeah, because my in 77, I think my dad would have been like 16, 15 or 16, something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yep. So there you go.
That's interesting. So I hope what I hope they do is I hope they come to the table with something. I mean, does it necessarily have to be Xbox or PlayStation level? No, but in the same way that Nintendo reinvented
Nintendo
itself.
Switch, yeah.
Right, exactly. I think Nintendo's doing it phenomenal. I'm not a video game person, but just somebody watching from outside, it seems like Nintendo's really doing, like with Wii, they came out with Wii, and that was a game changer for them.
Switch is the new hot.
And Switch, exactly, is kind of, everybody wants a Switch. these days. So I think that's so. If they can come out with something a bit more new, I just hope it's not like a retro game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as it has Pong on it, though, I'll be happy.
All those boomers.
And Qbert. Did you ever play Qbert?
I don't think so.
I think it was.
Isn't that a comic?
No, that's Dilbert.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I got, again, this is from the Block Crypto. Local government authorities in China, in China's Sichuan province, have issued a notice seeking to ban crypto mining activities in the region. Interesting. The notice issued by the financial administrator of Sichuan to its subordinate offices reads that, quote, hydroelectric power generation enterprises in our country shall immediately stop the investment of virtual currency mining activities and shall not add new virtual currency mining projects. Otherwise, our bureau will recommend the county's people to investigate and deal with the illegal construction projects, take bans, fines, order self-demolition, and other administrative measures until it's handed over to the People's Court for compulsory enforcement, the notice added. It remains unclear whether Sichuan, the second most popular region in China for crypto mining activities, with around 10% of Bitcoin's hash rate share, that's crazy, will indeed be banned from the business. Sources with knowledge of the matter told the Block that the order might not be enforced and everything will continue to run normally. However, crypto mining farms in Sichuan may lose subsidies for cheaper electricity. The notice comes at a time when the hydro season in China, particularly in Sichuan, is approaching fast. The season, which sees heavy rains and cheaper hydroelectricity, is beginning next week and will run through October. The hydro season is expected to push up Bitcoin hash rate, which has declined post-halving. It remains to be seen whether the notice impacts crypto mining activities in Sichuan in any way. So either it is news or it's not news. I'm not 100% sure. Either they will stop them or they won't stop them. I was getting conflicted messages from this article. So it started off, they were going to ban them, and then towards the end of this article, maybe not going to ban them. So I think we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, isn't that exactly China?
That's China news in a nutshell.
Hey, maybe we're going to ban you. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
No, we are. But maybe.
I didn't know there was hydro seasons either. Too. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Isn't that like more your speed, hydro season?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't do hydro. I'm natural sunlight.
Okay. Well, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what that means.
Hydro is referring to hydroponics, which is a technique in which you rush water through the root systems of all of your plants, and apparently it's a really cool way to do it. I just don't have the space or the time to learn how to do that.
Interesting. Well, there you go. I learned something that I felt like I already might have known.
I feel like you did.
But I didn't.
What do you got next?
It's like one of those things where you like think you know it or like you've heard it and then you're like, oh yeah, I know what this is. And then you really don't. All right. I've got an article here from our girl, Yogita Katari, about Binance. Binance aims to create one of the world's largest blockchain-based travel agencies.
Interesting.
Yeah. Crypto giant Binance is aiming to create one of the world's largest blockchain-based travel agencies. What does that even look like?
I don't even know.
To that end, the exchange has essentially acquired booking platform Travala.com. What the hell, really? Specifically, Travala has been merged with Binance-backed crypto-friendly flight booking portal by Travel by Bit. Interesting.
That is
interesting.
As
the first step of the merger, the two companies will cross-market their offerings, and at a later date, they aim to build an agency that would allow users to book from over 2 million hotels and 600 airlines. This is maybe some really huge news. No?
I agree. Yeah, this is you've been saying some companies that I'm familiar with.
You've been saying some things that sound important. And
yeah, absolutely.
Binance invested over $2.5 million in the Australian-based Travel by Bit in October 2018. Seems like a deal. At the time, Binance CEO CZ Zhao said, "There is no better fit than being able to use your crypto when traveling, just after you land in a foreign country where you may not be able to have the local currency." Good point, I would say, CZ.
Yeah, no kidding.
Travala has been connected with Binance too. The platform migrated to Binance Chain in 2019 and has its own token, AVA. Notably, AVA jumped 400% in 10 days leading to the merger news. Shady. Last week, Poloniex said the Poloniex listed the AVA token. Interesting.
Poloniex still a thing?
I guess. And they listed AVA. So
interesting.
Deal with it. Yeah, so I don't know. That sounds actually pretty interesting to me. Going into this, I was trying to look for a way to make fun of it, and I'm actually thinking it's pretty cool.
I for sure thought, I just read the headline, I'm like, oh, this is something we can make fun of for sure.
But actually pretty cool. I mean, look, say what you want about Binance and CZ, but they are...
hustling?
Yeah.
Straight
literally
hustle.
Have their hands in everything. And everything that maybe I would never have thought of, I would have never thought of a crypto
travel agency.
No, traveling with crypto, and I mean, I guess it makes perfect sense thinking about it, and I'm an idiot, but
that's okay. That's why we get our Twitter handle locked.
Yeah, right. And a myriad of other
right.
Oh man. Well, that's going to do it for us for the news. We're going to have a little short and sweet podcast today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in our world, this is definitely...
Yeah, we're usually...
I listened to a podcast the other day. It was 7 minutes long.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that?
This was a friend... Not a friend. A friend of one of my siblings had started a podcast and was looking for some tips. It was a hunting podcast. And it was the episodes were 7 to 10 minutes long. It was fine.
I listen to some shows like that, and it's fine, but I just can't get into it.
No, it was. I mean, he was talking about hunting. I used to hunt, but I don't hunt anymore, so it really wasn't relevant to me today. But I mean,
what can you talk about in 7 minutes?
A couple of places to go hunting, I think, is what he talked about.
But all right, what could we do in 7 minutes?
We couldn't do anything.
We couldn't do anything.
We can barely get out of the intro in 7 minutes.
We can't get out of the intro in 7 minutes. And some would probably argue that the intro is the best part of our show.
I agree. I know I would argue that part.
Our show is kind of like a reverse shit sandwich.
Yeah.
the good parts are at the beginning and the end, and everything in the middle. Maybe kind of like an NBA game also.
Oh. Speaking of, there's some I don't know what other sports. I mean, you know more about I would say more about more sports than I do. But I know about basketball.
Yeah, you're the basketball guy.
Bo knows basketball. Yeah. And there's some light at the end of the tunnel here. They're talking about Orlando and Disney World as kind of like an Olympic... I think, is from what I gather from reading some of these articles, kind of like an Olympic village to finish off the NBA season with no fans.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Interesting.
Huge news. I see my...
Huge if true.
Huge if true. Have you heard anything about baseball or football that gives you any hope?
The last I heard from baseball was that they were thinking about starting around July 4th weekend and having a 70 to 80 game season, which is about half of what... Right, what is it, 162? 162, yep.
Ooh.
And that they might expand the playoffs to an additional couple teams. That is what I heard. But
okay.
Minor leagues, I think, are going to get canceled, all that kind of stuff.
That's too bad.
That's the last I heard of that. But I think we actually have some golf this weekend.
Golf makes a lot of sense to me.
So, but it's not like a full-on tournament. Have you seen this?
No.
Tiger Woods and Tom Brady, I think.
Oh, maybe I did see this.
Versus Phil Mickelson and Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I did.
Some combination of those four.
I did hear about this.
And I think that's on Sunday.
I don't know if I'll watch that.
Oh,
I get it. I can see real sports fans watching that.
I'm gonna probably peek at it.
You're a real sports fan.
And I've been, missing sports.
You're probably right. There has not been enough sports, so I'll probably watch something.
I'll have you know, though, and you probably like this, that I never finished the Jordan doc.
Good.
And I'm like way behind. I really I watched the first 4 episodes.
Anyways, I'm glad that that's over. Because there was some fucking recency bias that was killing me on Twitter.
Well, let's see what happens in a year and we'll have the same exact conversation.
Right, exactly.
I think you'll still get mauled, but let's see.
Speaking of, though, if you haven't been watching, have you ever seen these Game of Zones episodes from Bleacher Report on YouTube?
No.
Oh, okay. So there's like 6 or 7 seasons of them. And they're usually like... they're 10 to 12 minute episodes, I would say, and like 5 episodes a season. So it's pretty easy to cruise through. And what they've done is Bleacher Report has combined Game of Thrones and NBA together to make these little cartoons. Mm-hmm. And this last season was amazing. So, like, did you watch Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that whole last season of Game of Thrones, take that, so Battle of Bastards, like what was the last fight? I forget what the last fight was, where the Dothraki go into the night and then like the fire disappears one by one kind of thing. But so take those episodes, but substitute all the NBA players with their own storylines, and basically the White Walkers are the dream team from the 90s. And the good guys, we'll call them, are the current NBA players. And it's basically all the arguments that I've been having on Twitter are happening. If you're anybody listening at home, if you're any kind of an NBA fan, you go watch Game of Zones. It is, especially this last, you don't even have to watch all the seasons. You just watch.
I gotta tell my buddy about this because
it's so good.
He might not be into it just because it's Bleacher Report, because he works for ESPN, and so
I feel like this transitions everything. It's that good. It's that good that even somebody working at ESPN or like Fox Sports would be okay. This is very, very,
because he was a huge Game of Thrones fan and he's a big NBA.
I wouldn't be shocked if he already knows about this.
I'm sure he does, but it's something that I would never know about because.
But watch, so this last, like, honestly, just go back and watch this season 7. I think there's like 5 episodes, 10 minutes each.
How long are they? 5 minutes?
10 minutes at the most.
You can get a lot done in 7 minutes.
You can. You can do a whole podcast. But yeah, highly recommend.
Look, as we become more successful moguls in the business world, we're going to have to cut these down to 7 minutes.
I think you're right.
Not
enough time in the day.
That's right. Well, all we have is 7 minutes to give nonsense. All right. So, what are we doing next here?
So, I think we have some new listeners. I think
we do. We definitely do. We definitely have some new engagement.
Right. So I'm gonna equate that to new listeners, and we were thinking of doing something fun, and I threw out the idea of maybe we should do a rapid fire for those new people, maybe to get to know us a little bit better, give them a little insight into how our insane minds work and so forth. So you want to play some rapid fire?
All right, so we are going to ask each other 10 questions here from this list, and I will start it off. You can pick any one of these. I'm going to go with, let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you and
10.
why? Come on, really? Now, let's go with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a driver is your wife?
Can we edit this part out? No. I would say, my wife and I have been together like 18 years. This is probably the thing we argue about the most.
Oh my God, me too.
I think if I'm not in the car, she's like an 8. But if I'm in the car and she happens to be driving, which is fairly rare, I'm an awful passenger with her.
Yeah, we sound exactly the same.
Okay, so you know where I'm coming from.
100% no.
Okay, so I would say she's a fine driver. I mean, she doesn't get into accidents, she doesn't get speeding tickets, you know. So I would say if I'm not in the car, probably an 8. But it's still 8 doesn't beat a 10. That's all I'm saying. I've been driving.
Can I make myself look okay here? What number?
I mean, both of us.
10,
we you know, you drive for work.
Bad.
I've driven for work for years.
That's funny. All right, you're up.
Let's see here. I like this. I like this one here. Nickname your parents used to call you.
Let's go with my dad. And I'm pretty sure this came from The Simpsons.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it. You know what? I've never met your dad. Every time you reference your dad, I'm like, I like this guy.
Oh yeah, my dad's dope. I'm almost positive it came from The Simpsons, but he still calls me boy or the boy.
Oh, that is 100%. I have to imagine he's taking that from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, because he's the one that introduced me
to
The
boy.
Simpsons. So yeah, so that's what he used to call me.
All right.
Yep. Let's see here. How about?
Are we going to round 2 here?
Yep.
Okay.
How about? Oh, I like this one. Ariel or Jasmine, and why?
It's not even close. It's Ariel.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Smoke show. She's really? A smoke show. Are you kidding me?
Big into fish stuff, huh?
Yeah, I'm into the fish stuff. Okay. Yeah, like she doesn't know like the real world. Like she brushes her hair with a fork. Like, you know, I could just tell her.
It's the innocence. Okay.
I could just tell. Oh, I'm the most handsome human in the world. You know what I mean? This is what beauty looks like on the.
She's ignorant, not blind.
Yeah, I think Ariel though. I'm into redheads.
Okay, I totally would have went Jasmine.
Yeah, you would have went Jasmine. I mean, nothing wrong with Jasmine. You know, no, she's a princess. I mean,
she could probably show me a whole new world.
Yes, she could.
Okay.
Actually, these are some good questions.
This is why we don't have sponsors.
These are some good questions.
Sorry, REKT. We can't sponsor you because at minute 40 you talked about banging Disney characters. So we're gonna have to.
Wasn't explicitly saying that.
No, but okay.
Tricking them though into thinking we're hot, I think is. Okay, here we go. This is a pretty standard one, but I like it. If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
Probably the first period.
The first one?
Yeah.
Period 1, tip off?
Period 1, yeah, exactly. Face off. That's what I'm into. Now let's go with man. I probably wouldn't go back that far.
Right.
Like I might go back to like maybe like the Don Draper times.
Honestly, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, thank goodness we don't have sponsors because I'm gonna because we're a couple of white boys.
Yeah.
And it's in the 60s and in the 50s. As shitty as it was for everybody else, we had it pretty good.
I mean, we still have it pretty good.
If you're a white guy in the 60s, that was. We don't get that anymore. So it would be interesting to see what that would have been like, I think.
I also thought that maybe like, medieval times where,
seems a little too rough for me.
Too rough? You wouldn't be able to.
I'm definitely not manly enough to live
hit
back
the
then.
outhouse.
Oh, no, I'm a fancy boy. I'm a fancy boy.
Chamber needs his moist towelettes.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me started. That's the only reason I probably wouldn't go to the 60s is because I don't have moist towelettes anymore.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd rather go to the future, quite honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've argued this point forever. We're continuously living in the best time to be alive.
Correct.
I mean,
it's also the oldest I've ever been.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I think that makes. Yeah, I think that's what I would say too.
All right, round 3.
Some of these are funny.
Some of these are hard. Is double dipping at a party ever acceptable?
It's a good question. I would say it's not acceptable. I'll double dip, but only in the comforts of my own home with my wife.
Oh, I double dip all the time. I'm probably not double dipping at a party in public though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if you're trying to put on airs, I'm not double dipping. But at home, if there's maybe even family, like even like my mom's place, I'll probably double dip.
I'll double dip. I don't care. I mean, maybe we're in a post-corona world now, so dipping at all is probably gone. Is probably a thing of the past. You're gonna get individual dips.
Hey, I like to live in that world.
Me too.
Like the dipping sauces for pizza.
Yeah, why not?
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
Okay. Let's go with say a word in Spanish.
Hola y bienvenido al REKT podcast. Yo soy Bancho.
Oh, it's good. I like that one.
Here's a great one. Number 4 for me. Do you respect Kanye West?
These are great questions. Shout out to elfster.com for these terrific questions. No, I don't think so. I'm not a big Kanye guy.
I think I respect him though. Like,
I guess
you gotta respect his hustle and so.
I don't disrespect him. I don't know. If you don't respect somebody, does that mean you automatically disrespect them?
Yeah.
Can I be neutral on that?
No. Disrespecting somebody is something different. You just don't have respect for them.
Right. I think it's that.
You could have common courtesy and not disrespect somebody, but also not respect them, I think.
Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. That makes sense.
All right. So, you're up.
What's for dinner tonight?
Ooh, good question. I don't actually know. I knew it was for dinner yesterday, but I don't know.
What was for dinner yesterday?
My wife made homemade chicken fingers. Like she she breaded and fried some chicken, and some homemade mac and cheese.
Interesting.
Just a real 5-year-old dinner, and it was great.
But homemade though, that's classy as shit.
Yeah, right. Not like frozen shit and
right. And KD.
She went homemade. Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Let's see. Keeping on with the theme of today's show, say "good day, mate" in an Australian accent.
G'day, mate.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
You gotta go over the top with the accent, I think.
Yeah.
So you'd have went like, "G'day, mate."
Good day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah. Foster.
Australian for beer.
B-A-E.
All right, you're up.
This is a good one. I like this one here. This comes up a lot in my household. How often is it healthy to cry? How often is it healthy to cry?
Is it healthy?
I don't know, because I don't.
Well, this says, how often is it healthy to cry?
Yeah, sorry. How often is it healthy to cry? And you're asking, is it healthy?
Well, you kind of cut out, so I lost.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. How often is it healthy to cry?
I don't know.
Because my daughter asks me that all the time. She's like,
she does. I don't cry very often.
She says, my daughter says she has never seen me cry.
I feel like most people
and
cry
you know,
very often.
I live in a house. I think so. I'm not sure. I don't know how.
Are we just robots?
Maybe it could be. I think.
Oh my god! I'll go with twice.
Yeah, I agree. 2 times. two times is enough.
Yeah. How often does Elliott cry? Twice. Okay, that's it.
I like it.
All right, let's do 2 more rounds.
Okay, cool.
How about? Let's see.
These are fantastic questions. I'm gonna post the list in the show notes.
How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
5? Probably 5 or 6.
Okay, I'm probably up to 3 a day.
Yeah,
but like sometimes sometimes they're like large iced coffees from Dunkin', so those probably count as 2 really.
Oof, those iced coffees hurt my teeth too much.
Hurt your teeth?
Yeah, aren't they a little sweet? Do you get them black?
I go black, bro.
I hear you don't go back.
No, you don't. I've never. Once I started going black coffee, I've never gone back.
Yeah, so the only iced coffees I've ever had were the like sugar and cream ones.
Yeah,
and it's too sweet.
I used to do it, and I used to do like.
So you go, so a black iced coffee. I've never had one.
Yeah, I like
room temperature black coffee. It's been sitting in my office for like 5 hours.
Oh, that's gross. My wife will still drink the same coffee that she's been drinking all day, and I'm like, that is disgusting.
I do the same.
All right,
all right. Let's see here.
I liked this question better than the one I asked you, but I didn't see it till after I asked it.
Which one is it?
Ask yours first.
Okay.
Because it might be this one.
Have you ever slapped someone in the face?
Oh God, yes, I've slapped so many people in the face. So many. We used to do. So, have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, I know where you're going with this.
So we used to do that all the time. So in How I Met Your Mother, there was slap bets, and people, you'd bet on something, and the loser would have to get slapped in the face by the winner. And we would do that all the time. There is a video that my buddies still have that circulates probably once or twice a year of me just taking one so hard in the
full
face. Oh my God. Just absolutely getting cold cocked. It was awful. But yes, I've slapped people in the face. The question I liked here that I thought you would have a good answer to, specifically, just because on your total outlook of the world, if everybody in the world had to get married when they reached a certain age, what would that age be?
If everybody in the world had to get married at a certain age, what age would that be?
So like, I'm X years old, this year I get married.
So would they have... One second. Could they have to be married at that age?
Yeah.
Or could they get married before that age too? Are we saying like by this age you have to be married?
Everybody in the world had to get married when they reached a certain age. I would say that's the age they have to get married.
I would say 45.
45? Holy crap. I knew you were going high. I had a feeling, and I knew you were going to go high on this one, and I did not think you'd get into the 40s.
Yeah, I mean, 45. I mean, for the record, I'm 37. And I've been married for 10 years. Yeah, 45 just seems like the right age. It feels like, you could be married for 20 years. And by that time, you're 65, and you're like, I'm not getting fucking divorced at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like at 45, you can give it a good go, and by the time you kind of want to get divorced, it's really inconsequential. So,
yeah, all right, I see it. I
love my wife, by the way.
All right, so I stole the question. Oh, no, I asked it, so I just didn't go to round 7. So, all right, you got one more question here, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Okay.
I said we'd be short and sweet as we spent another 25 minutes doing this.
Can you touch your toes without bending your knees?
Hold on. Should I try it right now?
I give it a go.
Hold on. I'm going to try this right now. I feel like I did this last week. Yes, I can.
Nice. I'm not even getting up. I know I can't. I'm disproportionate. My legs are ridiculously long.
Yeah, I can
my
do
torso.
it. You're like 6'5", though.
Yeah, but my arms, I don't have like gangly arms, and my legs are like gangly. So like my torso is like misproportioned to my legs. So I definitely, and I'm fucking out of shape. It's probably
I just
really
picture like a really like what you just described. I pictured as like what a 2-year-old would draw as a person.
Yeah, no,
like just with
exactly
like, the
what
circle in the middle, and that the circle in the middle also has the face,
right?
But then it's got really long arms and legs. Like that's what I just pictured.
I would say average size arms and long legs.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm not trying.
Yes, I can touch my toes, and I just did it. It actually felt great.
Amazing.
Stretched
Changing
out
lives.
those hammies. All right. That is going to do it for us. So guess what? We made it the whole way today.
Look at that. A full episode, guys.
Full-on episode. So that's going to do it for us. Let's get these charities popping in our Telegram for Chamber. Let's get these questions going off in the Telegram for our people, too. Come join us in Telegram or find us on coinhq.tv and at coinhq_ on Twitter. Our REKT podcast handle is back in full force, so check us out there. And otherwise, until next time, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.